Good morning, students. Yesterday we saw Civics Unit 3 State Government. Continuation of the state government. Listen here carefully, students. Chief Minister. Government is the nominal executive authority, but the chief minister is the real executive authority. Governor is the head of the state, but the chief minister is the head of the government. The appointment of the chief minister. The chief minister is appointed by the governor. Chief minister is appointed by the governor of the state. The term of the chief minister is 5 years. 5 years term. The chief minister enjoys the support of the members of the majority members of the legislative assembly. Until the support of the majority members of the legislative assembly, he enjoys the powers. Chief minister enjoys the powers. Powers and functions of the chief minister. Chief minister having a lot of powers of the state relating to the council of ministers. Chief minister recommends the council of ministers. Chief minister is the head of the council of ministers. All the council of ministers under the control of chief minister. He recommends all the ministers to form a ministry. The council of ministers, chief minister, look after the council of ministers portfolios. He is having the power. All the portfolios means documents regarding the ministers, council of ministers, biodatas like that. The portfolios, the chief minister only controls the portfolios, all the documents maintained by the chief minister, the council of ministers portfolios. The chief minister shuffles and reshuffles the council of ministers list. The council of ministers shuffles and reshuffles the ministry. The chief minister presides over the meetings of the council of ministers. He is conducting the council of ministers, meetings of the council of ministers. The chief minister having the power to direct, controls and coordinates all the ministry relating to the governor. The chief minister appoints the advocate general of the state. He is having the power to executive authority. He is having the power to executive authority. He appoints the advocate general of the state, and also he appoints the state election commissioner. appointed by the Chief Minister. Chief Minister appoints the chairman of the Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission. He appoints the chairman of the State Planning Commission. And also, Chief Minister having the power to appoint chairman of the State Finance Commission relating to the state legislature. The Chief Minister having the power to summoning means call to the court. Any minister he can call to the court, and also he can call and preside over the meetings. Summoning and proroguing. Proroguing means if any meetings want to conduct means he is having the power to postpone that particular meeting. Postpone. Prorogue means postpone the meetings. He is having the power to government policies. After the election, the Council of Ministers and with the end of the Chief Minister, the policies is there. The policies were fulfilled by the, after election, the policies were fulfilled by the ruling party, that is government. The policy, government policies looked after by the Chief Minister in the state legislature. The Chief Minister introduced the bills, all the bills, introduce the bill and submit to the legislature. Chief Minister having the power to dissolve the legislative assembly to the governor any time. He is having the power to dissolve the legislative assembly to the governor any state, any time. Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers collectively responsible for the state legislature. If one Council of Ministers not having the member of the legislative assembly, within a 6 months he should as a member of the legislative assembly. If the no confidence motion passes, no confidence motion means nambike illa tirmanam. If the no confidence motion passes, all the ministry will dissolve. Dissolve means kalakapadalam. No confidence motion. Article 168, the Council of Ministers with Chief Ministers, all the Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister. Other provisions relating to ministers. Article 164I, Chief Ministers shall be appointed by the Governor. Article 164IA, all the members of the ministers not exceed 15% in the legislative assembly. 15% only. Total number of members is there no. Total number of members only 15% only be in the legislative assembly. Functions and powers of the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers having a lot of powers. They look after the policies. After the election, the policies is there. They fulfill that particular policies by the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers decide the legislative programs look after by the Council of Ministers. And the Council of Ministers look after the sponsors of the bill, sponsors of the bills, looked after by the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers having the power to tax structure, looked after by the Council of Ministers. In these tax were levied on the people. The people pay the taxes. No, in these taxes were used for public welfare of the state. The Council of Ministers appointed the head of the state, head of the department also. The Council of Ministers having the power to appoint head of the department. The Council of Ministers having the power, if any disputes arose within a state or inside the state, they look after the problem and solve the problem by the Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers look after the expenditure of the state. Expenditure were looked after by the Council of Ministers. All the bills were passed to the Legislative Assembly by the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers supervises, controls and coordinates the Legislative Assembly. And Council of Ministers look after the budget also. Budget, they decided the budget and finally they presented the budget to the government by the Council of Ministers noting. Students, listen here. I am going to recall Chief Minister. Chief Minister is the real executive authority, but the governor is the nominal executive authority. The governor is the head of the state, the chief minister is the head of the government. The appointment of the chief minister appointed by the governor of the state. The term of the chief minister is 5 years. He enjoys the power. All the members support majority members of the Legislative Assembly. Till that, he enjoys the power. Powers and functions of the chief minister relating to the Council of Ministers. The chief minister recommends any Council of Ministers to form the ministry. And chief minister having the maintain the portfolios of the Council of Ministers. Chief minister suffers and resuffles the Council of Ministers. And chief minister preside over the meetings of the Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers meetings are conducted by the chief minister. Chief minister directs, controls, coordinates all the Council of Ministers. Note it. And relating to the government, the chief minister appoints advocate general with the recommendation of the governor. Chief minister appoints the state election commissioner and he is appointed chairman of the Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission. And chief minister appoints chairman of the State Planning Commission. Finally, chief minister appoints the State Finance Commission. Relating to the state legislature, chief minister having the power to summoning, call any minister and ministry and also proroguing the session, postpone the meetings. He is having the power. Chief minister look after the government policies, fulfill the government policies. And chief minister only introduce the money bills and other bills also. Chief minister having the power to dissolve the Legislative Assembly to the governor any time. Council Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers collectively responsible for the state legislature. If the Council of Ministers not a member of the Legislative Assembly, within a 6 months he should be a member of Legislative Assembly. If the no confidence motion passes, all the entire ministry will resign. Article 168 of the government, Council of Ministers with the Chief Minister as the head. All the Council of Ministers, Chief Minister only as the head. Noting. Other provisions relating to the ministers. Article 164I says that Chief Minister shall be appointed by the government. Article 164IA tells us the ministers not exceed 15% in the Legislative Assembly. Functions and powers of the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers having the policies, functions and powers of the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers having the power to the policies of the government. They wanted to fulfill the policies of the government. The Council of Ministers decide the legislative programs and sponsors all the bills. The Council of Ministers look after the tax structure of the government. The tax were levied on the people. They collected the taxes. Different type of taxes were collected and used for the public welfare of the state. The Council of Ministers appointed the head of the department. Head of the department were appointed by the Council of Ministers. If any dispute arose within the state or other state, the Council of Ministers decide themselves and solve that particular problems. The Council of Ministers look after the state expenditures. Expenditures were looked after by the Council of Ministers. All bills passed by the Council of Ministers to the Legislative Assembly. The Council of Ministers supervises, controls and coordinates the ministers, entire ministers. And the Council of Ministers were having the power to submit the budget to the government. Okay, then see you students.